Ooh, it is chilly out here today, so I'll be quick. Anyway, I've been feeling a little bit uninspired as of lately, and that's totally normal in photography. There are highs and lows. That's also one of the reasons why I've decreased the number of videos in this channel in these past 2 weeks, but it will be back to normal pretty soon, don't worry about that. Every time I go through one of these lows, the first thing that comes to mind is always camera gear. I believe that there is a camera out there that is better and my camera is not good enough. I'm lacking this lens, I should buy this faster lens or this longer lens or this wider lens. I should try this new film stock, this new developer, that's gonna change everything, and that's what I'm lacking, and that's why I'm not achieving the results that I'm looking for. I only recently realized that when I'm looking at equipment, when I'm not feeling it, it's not that I want to buy a new camera or a new lens. What I'm looking for is I want to buy a better version of myself. I imagine all those things that I could do with a new camera, with a new lens, with this new film stock that I'm not able to do right now. I imagine a better photographer making better images than the ones that I'm making right now. Of course, this is a lie. Images won't make themselves while I'm here sitting on my ass. After all, it's not about the equipment that we have, but about the use that we make of that equipment. A few weeks ago, I started shooting with my old Sony a6000 instead of using the a6500. That is my newer camera and is some 500 units better than this one. What I did, instead of comparing this camera to the newest and latest cameras out there, I went out and made one photograph, and then I asked myself, what could have made this photograph better? Which feature that those cameras have that this one doesn't could have made this photograph better? And the answer after a few images was always the same: none. It is true that some of those features could have helped a little bit, some of them could have made my life a little bit easier, but at the end of the day, it was always up to me, it's always up to the photographer. And that's when and why I decided to make this camera my main camera for photography, and I'm talking digital here. The Bronica is not going anywhere, don't worry about that. But yeah, this is not the best camera, it's almost 4 years old now. The sensor is quite good, to be honest. The image quality from this sensor is just fine. I don't need anything else, and it's 24 megapixels. The thing is, I damaged this sensor a couple of years ago when I was cleaning it, so now it has a scratch that is clearly visible on images, but I can always fix it in post. That's what I do, in fact, and it's not a big deal. I can deal with that. I also decided to leave my shiny, big and heavy 70 to 200mm lens behind on this trip, and I brought this little guy with me instead. This one came in the same kit when I bought the a6000, and it's a 55 to 210, so it has a bigger, wider range than the other one. Of course, the quality of this lens does not even compare to the big one. It's also about to break, I believe, because every once in a while it makes a very terrible noise when I try to focus. I think it's the focusing motor that it might be about to break. I have to turn off the camera and turn it on again until it doesn't, I guess. I don't know, it works most of the time, but despite being not so good and being worse than the other lens, I've made more images that I like with this lens than with the other one, like this couple that I'm showing you now. That's due to the size. This is a very small and light lens for the reach that it has. It is a 300mm equivalent in full frame, and also because it's cheaper, so I was willing to risk it in bad weather conditions. This applies to the camera as well, since it's already pretty beaten up and it would be relatively cheap to replace. I don't mind putting it through some rough conditions, and that at the end is what gets you the image. So yeah, I believe that I can make almost anything I want with this kit right here, so it's what I will be using from now on until it dies screaming or something. And even then I might consider just buying another a6000 because they are relatively cheap and it's pretty good. The image quality is pretty good. Well, I don't want to lie, I will be using most of the time still my size lens on the a6000 because I love this lens, and I don't really like power zoom lenses. I prefer to have the zoom ring, you know. But this one is pretty convenient because if you happen to have a dog like I do, you can hold the leash with one hand and you can control the camera with the other hand, and you can zoom in and out, you see, just with one hand, thing that you cannot do with a regular zoom lens. So that's one of the reasons why, also the size, but why I'm keeping and using the small kit lens. This was a little bit of a weird video in this day and age. I just keep seeing more and more videos every day with about the new features the new cameras come with and that we can't live without. And I just feel like we are making photography much more complicated than it really is. So I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on this and share why I'm using a relatively cheap camera from now on. I just wanted to share a few images that I've made these past few days here in this little town, just walking around with this camera. There are no videos coming, I don't have any footage of this. New videos will come soon, but they will come with new images, so I just wanted to share them here. They are coming now after I stop talking, but thank you so much for watching and see you very soon.